Oh, good evening. Here we are again. Yes, he's eating his thing. He's eating his chicken foot again. Anyway, a few things to do before we start. Do that. Move that to one side and bring up that. Well, I hope everyone's well this week. Busy week, which I'll tell you about after I've gone through my spiel. Plus, I've been watching a lot of football this week, watching a lot of the World Cups, some shocks. We'll talk about that later, I'm sure. So, it's been a funny week this week. We've got good evening, Mick. Good afternoon, Mick. We've had 1,473 views. Now, subscribers, we lost 3, gained 3, so we're still at the same. So it evened itself out. So what have you been watching? Well, in third place last week was the live stream with 66 views. And coming in at number 2, I don't know if everyone's watched it yet, The Spooky Happening. I thought I'd put it up. It was discovered that it was a fly. Thanks to Dave, he slowed it right down and he saw a little minute fly across. But we had a spooky happening again today during the recording of the Stinkers. When I record, I make sure the mobile phone is out the room and out the way. Still, I've got some interference. I don't know what's going on. I'm spooked. 114 people have watched that. But at number 1 is part 1 of David Allen's Gong, which was an interesting one. I didn't expect that one to go straight into number 1. But great. So, in the last 28 days, the channel has had 6,461 views, 17 new subscribers. Yeah, Elmer Pucker, yeah. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed that one, Mick. We might do another one at some other time, we might have to bone one in now and again. So yeah, 6,461, as I said. What have you been watching? Well, in the last month, it's been the number 3 is Simple Minds, still 174 views. The top 10 show with Richard in the 2000s at 223, but a staggering 589 views is the Theory of Molecular Inheritance by Arena still. Let's have a look at the big picture since I started. We've had 118,414 views and 585 subscribers. So we're creeping towards 600. No change in the order of the views. Status quo still up the top at 6177. Derek Riggs, Owen Maidens at 3783. Jethro Tull 3616. Now, after last week's Battle of the Debuts, remember it was Eric Clapton's Cream against Eric Clapton's Blues Breakers or John Mayall's. And after I'd added everything up, it was a dead heat. First draw we've had, so no one could make up their mind. Well, we're going to go through the people that have left us this week. And the first one I'm going to start with is not a pop star. It's our very own Mastermind Dave's aunt who passed away early hours this morning. I didn't know if Dave was going to be around today, but he's on. So come, if you want to say send your condolences on here. I'm sure Dave would appreciate that. But in the rock and roll world, the 19th, we lost Danny Camp, guitarist with the Blues Project. He was 80. And sadly, Wilco Johnson, the guitarist from Dr. Feelgood and the Blockheads, died on the 21st. So may they all rest in peace, including Auntie Anne, who I did have the pleasure of meeting on a few occasions on my trips to Ireland. So what have I got for you next week? Well, we're doing another bit of Gong Part 2, and we're going to look at the post-David Allen Gong. Now, this is sort of the band that David Allen was until he sadly passed, and Gilly Smith. So we've got 2 albums to look at from that little period. Classic album next week is probably one of the most important indie albums that was made. It's Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division. Tuesday next week, it's the last Tuesday of the month, which means it's Ladies' Day. And we got a right mixed one this next week. Album ranking is American ladies rock band who I did see, Vixen, the girls with the big hair. And our retro ranking is a really different one. It's, if you live here in the UK, you know who, I'm sure everyone knows her, but over in the UK, she's a national treasure. And we're talking about the wonderful Dame Shirley Bassey, of course, that gave us 3 Bond movie tracks. So I'm going to pick my favourite tracks by Shirley because I think she's a great singer. Wednesday's marathon next week. Saudi Arabia and Japan. Like it, Charles. Yes, I've never jumped around so much for 2 teams as I did in the last couple of days. Where was I? Yes, Marathon Wednesday. This is one of my favourite bands, and I thought I'd put one of mine in. And we're going to have a look at the albums of Aerosmith. That swiftly brings us round to next week's Battle of the Debuts, and this is an interesting one. We're going to have Kiss against a band that Gene Simmons discovered and signed to Casablanca Records, and that's the brilliant Angel, which are a great band, one of my favourite American bands. And then next week, we've got the first of the new shows. The advert's up if you want to have a look at what the intro is going to be like. So it's Pick and Mix. And the first, because it's a 4-weekly thing, we're going to have a trip down memory lane, which is the UK Top 10 for the 1st of December, 1975. I'll be here, as usual, on a Thursday with Rocky Barkin and Dave on the answering all your questions and queries. Next week's live album ranking is having announced there's a new Jethro Tull album out next year. I thought I'd have a quick look at Ian Anderson's solo albums. There's only 2 officials, but I have got an honourable mention. And then the new album review next week is the band that everybody hates, Nickelback, and their new album, Get Rolling. So what have I been listening to this week? Well, I haven't listened to too much because I've been doing some work on other stuff and getting stuff ready and everything else. So it's been not as productive on the listening this week. Still only listened to 3 of Charlie Watts. Eloy, I've listened to 12 of the 19 now. James Bond soundtracks were up to 9. Queensryche, we've got 13 of the 17. Jefferson Airplane, 7 of 8. I have listened to a bit of that this week. Demon, we're up to 4 of 13. Damon Edge, 3 of 5. Wishbone Ash, 4 of 24. Jesus and the Mary Chain, one of the newer we've added, 2 of 7. Touchstone, 3 of 4. Wolf Mother, 3 of 6. Mostly Autumn, 4 of 14. And a Manic Street Preachers that we have added, 1 of 14. Completed bands this week are REM and Gracious. No Wally of the Week this week. Everyone's been behaving. No nasty comments, no bizarre comments. It's been all quiet on the Western Front, as they say. Yeah, we think it was a bug. Or as I said I think it was you, and I said it could have been Marley with a spirit saying, "Hey, Rocky gets too much limelight. I want some still," because she used to when she was here. Bless her. She was so young, she'd jump up and try and you could see sometimes with his head bobbing up on trying to get up. So yeah. One more important thing to do at the moment. Let's have a quick look at something. Still 0-0. Brazil, Serbia for those. I don't know. Hope we're not going to have another 0-0 draw. Yes, quiet you. Yeah, so what have I been doing this week? Well, January the 1st, when you switch on your YouTube channel, you'll go, "Oh, what's happened?" I'm doing a little bit of a rebrand. Even Dave doesn't know this yet. Obviously, Dave's been occupied with other things. So I've got some new branding. But I did pass it by my friend Abby, who, as you know, it was her birthday this week. Because she's, as you know, Abby tells me as it is. So, and she liked it. So if she liked it, I think everyone else would. I don't know. They did play well against Iran, although it was only Iran. They played good football. So we've got that. So a total rebrand on January the 1st. All their headers are going to be changed. The intros have changed a little bit. Thumbnails are not, though. I'm not changing the thumbnails because they're quite distinctive and people do like them. So that's what I've been doing this week. Been doing little bits for that Christmas, New Year week as well. Getting things ready for that, so I haven't got too much work to do before Christmas. Watching lots of football and just generally having a good time. Come up here then. Come here. Say hello to everybody. Say hello to everybody then. There we go. Oh, dear me. He thinks this thing's up here and there isn't. The last few days, it's been absolutely raining here, and he has just point blank refused to do anything. He'll go out to do what he needs. I've got a little bit of, it's not much of a shelter, but he will not go outside of that while it's raining. I don't blame him. And when you say the word walk, he just looks at you, gone out, and puts his head in the bed. What you got there? What have you been doing today? The other thing he's done this week, which is quite funny, I left my landline phone on the sofa, and Rocky goes and sits on the sofa on his blanket and his little pillow. And unknown to me, he hit last redial and he phoned Lee. So Lee answered the phone, rang me back, and he said, "Sorry, I was doing something." I said, "Well, I didn't ring you." And I thought, I know. I said Rocky rang. He said, well, he could have left a message. So that was quite funny. Oh, it's such a fuss pot. What? What? What do you want? You want to get down now, do you? All right, then. You said hello to everybody. Well, you're not having anything else. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Quite so. So then, if you know anyone that wants a birthday top 10 done, because I've not got one now till the end of December. But I've had other top 10s to put together. So, yeah, we're putting some. We've got a Mike Oldfield retro ranking in the new year. Managed to find some tracks that not on albums. Got a Deep Purple one in the new year. I've been sorting out stuff for the camera's view as well. Yes, there are some been added to the laundry list. I can't remember what they were now. I've been too busy doing other stuff, like putting the album of the year, the review of the year together. That's coming together nicely now. And don't forget that we have got our musician Wally of the year. TG Maverick. Still 0-0 in the football. Yeah. I think the only two, talking the football, the only two teams that have shown their colours so far are England and Spain. I mean, the Portugal game was quite entertaining. Ah, that's it. John Miles and Timbuk 3, that was it. Yes, they are on the list, Ralph. They will be coming up in 2023. Because I think after Aerosmith, is Porcupine Tree on the list? Now, that's the point. No, I've heard Porcupine Tree. I done Porcupine Tree ages ago. Haven't done any live Porcupine Tree album ranking though. Yes, I'm sure Dave will be finding it for you as we speak. He'll tell you exactly when it was done. Because at the time, I think the new album had sort of just been announced. I had another listen to that this week. That's one thing I have been listening to, is some of the albums that I'm doing in the review of the year. So there we go. There you go, Stephen. There is even the link. So you can watch it later. There's that little dachshund sitting there barking again. I think everybody's got used to him barking because he just keeps on at it. What tonight's drink is Brewdog and it's called Hazy Jane. Yes, it is, Stephen, and I'm reviewing it tomorrow. In fact, we've got a Threshold day. 2 shows dedicated to Threshold tomorrow. I'm doing the live albums, and then I'm going to have a listen to the new album. Well, the review of the new album, and a bit of a spoiler, it is going to be in the best albums of 2022. It's only been out a week, and I love it already. Absolutely. But then again, Threshold have never, ever put out a bad album. Well, I don't think they have. And their live albums, well, you'll find that out what I think of their live albums tomorrow. I might add to the In the Camera's view, the critical energy DVD. Because I actually watched it last night after the football. I put it on YouTube because it's on there. Oh, Wounded Lamb's brilliant. Oh, yes, they answered. The band where Dave come from, where Dave is, and I've seen his dad through a bar window. Connor's dad. I must have it. He's got a solo album out, which I have listened to, but I haven't reviewed it. So I may pop that in at some stage before the new album comes out. It's a one-off out solo album. As Thomas Phaedrus have just scored, and it's took them long enough. Thank you, Charles. Will it open the floodgates? Paddy's Day inclusion, yeah, hey. Yes. Well, all I know that on Patrick's Day, when is Patrick's Day? I've actually got the calendar for next year in front of me now. My new calendar for next year. Where is Patrick's Day? I bet it's a Friday if it's coming out on a Friday. Yep, Patrick's Day is Friday. So that week there will be something of an Irish flavour that day. Might have to do a bit of jiggly pokery though for that day. A long Irish weekend, yeah. No, I know who's that. No, we're gonna do. I know who I'm doing. It's sort of always been in the back of the mind. They're both good, Rockbiz. Good evening, sir. I like them both. As I say, you know, they've got. It's one of them bands that them two bands are all people from that have made notable careers before they joined the band. I mean, Carmine Appice, I mean, Villa Fudge. What the hell are we doing in the hole at the moment? The Blue Murder are winging at the moment. Yeah, Rory Gallagher was thought about, but not this year. Next year, sorry. I know who exactly I'm doing, and but Rory Gallagher will be done at some stage, because I've seen Rory Gallagher at it was at the Milton Hills Blues Festival in when would that have been? About 1989, 88? Yes, he scurried off the other day. Oh, Rocky did. And made a right mess of the lounge. The worst band I've ever seen live? Ooh. Let's think. Jason and the Scourgers. Bellius Som. Community poll is one each. There's some of the worst bands I've seen. Guns N' Roses. They were terrible when I saw them at Donington. Absolutely awful. I think that was absolutely out of their trolleys. And Axl Rose, every other word, he was effing and jeffing every other word, and we got bored with him. I think that was the same day that Halloween played, and they were far better than Guns N' Roses that day. And that's the only time I ever saw Guns N' Roses. Because, to be quite honest, that put me off. Really? Oh, it's even Stevens here, and that's going to fall down because Rocky's just hit it. That's it. Yeah, nothing spectacular. Nothing spectacular on the backdrop this week. Because I forgot to do them, and it was a Monday. That was a Monday morning grab. 6 albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how they come out. We got Incantations, Strange Frontier, How Asia Go. Blue Murder is up now, winning. I even pulled out the Wall. A bizarre one, because I would never think about putting that one out, but I just grabbed it as I was about to do 3 shows on Monday, so it was a quick, really busy day on Sunday. And after Saturday, because where I actually live, I'm in between 2 local football teams, and they're in the same league. And it was the local derby on Saturday. It was a proper local derby. Lots of incidents, lots of hard tackling. But the referee, to be quite honest, he just told them to calm it down. I know this is a local derby, but just calm it down. I would say Guns N' Roses. The Appetite for Destruction was okay, and then it went downhill from there, really. Hence why we haven't done an album ranking of Guns N' Roses. I've done a then and now of Guns N' Roses, but I've not done an album ranking of Guns N' Roses. Because there's only one album out of the lot that's worth listening to in my books, and that's the first one. And in all honesty, I think they were a little bit overrated. They were good, but not as good as the media hype them to be. There were certainly some better rock bands in America at the time. Oh, thanks, Rob. Yeah. I love doing that one. That was a toughie. I mean, when I've made the original list, there was 38 songs on it. I just went through the albums. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. No, you know, absolutely. I just love it. I think it's because it's so different. That's why I like it. They're all good, Rob, aren't they? I think the Jam are one of them bands that I think everybody likes. Even headbangers like the Jam. You know, I was a proper headbanger when the Jam were out, but I loved them. So I'm just trying to catch up on what people are saying. Yeah, I'll tell you why. As I think I said it on the thing on the when I did the retro ranking. I think what really made it was Bruce's bass lines. They were absolutely mega. What do I think of Crazy Nights album? It's better live. The tracks are better live. I don't think I ranked it very high on my album ranking, Rock Beast. Let's have a look. See if I can find it quickly. I think it's towards. I can't remember where I put it. Let's have a look. I'll keep this to hand now because people do ask. Okay, so here we go. Out of the 20, it was about halfway. Number 11. Number 11 on my list. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Rob. They was tight. As I said, you couldn't get a bus ticket between them. They were that tight. Tubes. Wow, I haven't heard any of their stuff for ages. I've been listening to Tube by Army's 2 albums. I wonder why I've listened to the 2 Tube by Army albums. Maybe that I might be doing something in the new year. Oh, I might have to listen to some Tubes and do a retro ranking on them. Yeah, so if I do Tube by Army, I might have to do Gary Newman as well. Ooh, things I have to do for this channel. Listen to stuff all the time. I've actually got a Gary Newman live album, and the version of Our Friends Electric on there is absolutely stonking. Tube Station at midnight. Yeah, it's a great song. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I didn't like, to be quite honest, Crazy Nights is not one of my favourite albums. I do like No 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 on it though. Yeah, we're doing Kiss in the Battle of the Debuts next week, Rock Beast, with Angel. Yeah, Simon Bray does like that album. But I'll forgive him for it. I love it when he talks about Magnum, old Simon Bray, because he gives the old Bob Catley. Yeah, I've had a few conversations with him on Twitter, mostly about beer. Yeah, and you, mate. We'll do something in 2023 with Mr. McCook. Why do I think? Well, they all went sloppy on us, that's why. All the girls liked them, didn't they? Hold on, I think his nibs wants a wee. Won't be a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. What? No, he didn't. He wanted his water filling. 2-0. Oh, gold. Yeah, as I was saying, Rock Beast, I think because they went all romantic on us and sloppy and passed around the bucket, I think that's why they survived the grunge era. But by then, I think they'd well past their sell-by date, in all honesty. Yeah, got an interesting album ranking next week, Rock Beast. I don't know if you've heard of them. I'm sure you have. A band called Vixen. If you like that sort of thing, Vixen. Cold Gin's a great track. Yeah, I might do a retro ranking on my favourite Kiss songs. Yeah, Creatures of the Night. The album that saved Kiss. In my eyes. If it weren't for that album, I think they'd have packed up. Where did I rank that one? I've got to find it again now, so I shut the blooming book up. Where are Kiss? They're in here somewhere. There we go. Yes, number 2 in my album ranking, Creatures of the Night. That's how much I like it. Well, I've got this book out. You'll see what's coming up in. I don't know what order they'll come out in, but these are the ones that will be coming up in January and February, probably, because I want to. Some that have been sitting here forever. David Lee Roth, that will be coming out. The Rich and Famous, an Australian band after Kings of the Sun. That'll be coming out of storage. What else is coming out in 2023? There's Rich and Famous. There's 1 or 2 coming out before the end of the year, so that's thing. And yeah, David Lee Roth will be out. What else will be coming out? Oh, here we go. Done quite a lot. There's Doris Brendel. You don't know who's she, but you'll find out. And then we've got the Alan Parsons Project. That'll be coming out. That one's part of the John Mitchell story. We've got Cooler Shaker to come out. Feeder. Yeah, so we've got the Feeder. That'll be coming out. Mahogany Rush and the Verve and the J. Goals Band. Athlete. Black Country Communion. Nirvana. Thorpe. Elbow. The Smiths. Sensational Alex Harvey Band. So these are the bands that will be coming out in early 2023. So there's some really good stuff coming up at the beginning of the year. And don't forget, we're starting on the... What is the next? There we go. Sandy having the calendar. So starting on the 8th of December, we've got that variation of the Battle of the Debuts. The Battle of the Debuts, I've Gone Solo. When prominent people leave bands and go off and do their own thing, either as a solo artist or form their own bands. So we'll be putting up their first album against the next album of the band they just left. As we said last week, we got a couple of good ones in there. One of them is someone that someone actually asked for, Battle of the Debuts. So and that was UFO against Michael Schenker. So that'll be the one that will kick it off. We'll have UFO against MSG. I won't tell you the other three, but there are some good ones in there. No, I'm actually watching it at home. I'm not going out tomorrow night, but I'm going out on Tuesday night. I wonder why. I'm not particularly thinking, but someone's asked for it, Rock Beast. And if it's get asked for, we do it. There's a lot of bands of rank that have not particularly on my list, but if people at least ask for them, they'll get them. Yeah, Motley Crue, I've worked it out, should be February-ish. But I'm gonna do Nirvana. It was asked for, so it'll get done. I didn't mind listening to them. It's just my cup of tea. But that's the odd band I like. Like Alice in Chains, I didn't mind them. And Jane's Addiction, I didn't mind them either. The odd album here and there. And Charles, I don't think the King Billy is showing the football because they're too much into their music in there than football. I'm actually going to watch the England-Wales game. And Dave will know about this one. We're going down to the Barrett Snooker Club. That's where we're going to go and watch that. At the Snooker Club. What's wrong with the Snooker Club? We've had many a nice evening in there. Attempting to play snooker. No, it's a really good setup they've got down there. You've got like a bar area. Oh, yes. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. to all our American friends. Enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner, Mick. Send my regards to the good lady as well. Yeah, I forgot it was Thanksgiving today, because we don't celebrate it here in the UK, but happy Thanksgiving to all our American friends that watch the channel. Oh, I love pumpkin pie. The best pumpkin pie I had was in Chicago. Absolutely delicious. Was it Milwaukee? I can't remember. It was on that trip anyway, because we went to Milwaukee on the train. Thank you very much, Mick. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to watch the... I don't know. I've got a question for you. Christmas dinner. Who has a Yorkshire pudding with their Christmas dinner? Because I don't. And one of the... The new album. If you're not into Motown and the 60s stuff, I can understand why you weren't impressed with it. But folk of my age were sort of brought up on them songs because we had parents that listened to that music. So I quite like it. I will be doing live Bruce Springsteen next year, Rock Beast. Some great stuff on them albums. Except one. Yeah, so yeah, I can understand why you didn't like that album, Rock Beast. There's a couple of tracks on there that I'm not impressed with. That's one thing I will be doing next year, because I'm going to go through all my albums that bands have done with covers on it, and I'm going to put my top 10 favourite cover albums and my top 10 of the worst cover albums I've got. These are all in my collection. They won't be ones. There might be some that I haven't got that I might have to mention in the worst ones. And Status Quo, I'm going to have to pick the worst, because I'm not going to... Status Quo have released 3 and 2 of them are not very good. In fact, none of them are very good, but I'm not going to put all 3 of them in. I think I know which one will go in, but that's what I should do in the new year as well. I'm going to put together my favourite albums with cover the stuff on there. And I do believe Bruce Springsteen may get into the top 10 of good ones. The bad ones, that's going to be the one. There's so many bad ones out there. Yeah, Blue Murder are still winning. And Brazil are 2-0 up still. Most famous artist? Bowie, yes. Talking of Bowie, where is it? This red book is the work in progress. But there is one name that I've put in, ready to do. And if you can see, there we go. David Bowie. Because I've got to do Bowie. Yes, he will. I've sort of told him that it's going to happen. But how many albums have I got to listen to? I mean, it will be absolute agony, of course, to listen to them all. I think I've got 26 to listen to. And while I'm at it, I'll probably do Tin Machine as well, because I love Tin Machine. I know someone actually saw Tin Machine in London, at the Town and Country Club. He said they were absolutely brilliant. He said the best thing about it is that Bowie was just a member of the band. He was playing in a small gig in a small place. He found it a little hard to comprehend, but he sort of just come on stage and played his guitar and sang, and that were it. But he said it was a great night. I'd have loved to have seen that. They actually made a live album called Oh Yeah Baby or something like that. Again, that's an album that may feature in the sort of album ranking of the bands that have only ever released one live album. So that's another show that I'll be throwing in just to break up all your requests. As I think from January, they're all what you have asked for. There is nothing left of the original that I originally put down. I think I finally exhausted my original artist that I put down. So it's taken me a year and a half to do that initial list. So from now on, it's all your stuff. Nothing that I'm adding in. I think Aerosmith must be one of the last ones that I've popped in. Everything else will be requests from you good people. So makes my life a lot easier, though, when you keep adding to it. Not including Bowie. Yeah. I know it's been asked for, so it's got to go on the list, isn't it? And there's 26. It's going to take me a little while to listen to 26 albums, so don't expect that one until probably after March. Haken? Or was it Haken? I've heard of them. You did have come up with some good bands, Stephen, I must admit. That's one I've not heard for in a long time. The name rings a bell. I think there's another band that I like from the 80s, and they're a Birmingham band called Shy. Saw them a few times. I don't know what their manager did, but he got a great deal, because every time there was a band on at the NEC in the 80s, the support band was Shy. I don't know if he'd done a deal with them at the NEC, but he seemed to. They were always on. I think. Oh, that'll do it. Yep, I thought that's what they were. Prog metal. I didn't want to make myself look a bit of a tit and say, "Oh yeah, they're a prog band." Oh yeah, that's good. New release. So they will get done, but I shall wait until the new album comes out, like I sometimes do. Got one little album ranking that I'm doing in that week between Christmas and New Year. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's an album that there's a great singer. He's worked with lots of people, and he released a new album with a certain singer from an ex singer of another prog industrial symphonic metal band. So I'll be doing that. Got a Marillion Day, as you know. All things Marillion. Probably my second favourite band. No, third favourite band behind Genesis and SQ, but there's lots of bands that I love. So, yeah. Right, this is going to be a rather short one because I've got a rather busy day tomorrow. I've got one or two things I need to do, none channel related. So I'm going to call it a night. And I just want to make a quick phone call as well. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. And I'll see you all next week. And don't forget, tomorrow is the Threshold Day where we've got live albums and having a look at the new album, Dividing Lines, which is a belter. So before we go, the end of the poll, Blue Murder won on here, 60% to 40%. So thanks for your votes. And we'll catch up with you all next week when we'll do it all again. Yeah, 2-0. Wonderful stuff. Okay, that's in the Pearl. So all teams have now played once. That's correct. Good night, all. Bye for now.